Hello and welcome back to this episode 3 of our Witcher Chronicle Witcher Last Light. I am your host, or your dungeon master, your game master, your storyteller, whatever you want to call it. Over here we call it a navigator. Right here on Rolling Nomads, I'm your navigator, Gilbert Ramos, aka Ramos, on all social media. And I have no announcements. I have nothing special to throw out or to highlight as of right now. And if I did, it'll be spliced in at the beginning of all this. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into you're actually here to see our players. Let's go ahead and begin over my left. Nyoka, you kindly.
Yeah, I am Edge or Edge Survival or Edge the Nomad on different platforms. I do like kind of like HR kind of things, I think, on here, with the Rolling Nomads. But today I'll be doing, or I'll be playing Nyoka, uh, your Viper Witcher.
Hell yeah! Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. Let's jump over to our next player, and that'll be Cersei.
Hello, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on most social media platforms, including on Twitch, where I stream probably. And I do social media for the Rolling Nomads, but that's not what you're here to see. For this game, for this time zone, for this session, I will be playing Cersei Aveline, the R2's and trained sorceress.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. Let's go ahead and jump over to Visha.
Hello everyone. I am the Rissa Rave all over the social medias, and tonight, this time zone, I will be playing Visha, the alchemist mage.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. And last but certainly not least, Kura.
Hello again, everybody. So happy to see you. I am Warren, found everywhere at the Demons Within, and tonight I will be playing Kura, Witcher of the Griffin School.
You sure
Deal
will.
with this BS.
Hell yeah. Without further ado, with our cast having been met, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode of Witcher Last Light. We begin each episode as we always do with a recap. Now, again, we have a volunteer for this recap because that's just the way it is, gang. I'm not doing it. Let's go ahead and jump into our recap. I believe Kuro, you have volunteered.
I did indeed. I don't know why I do this to myself. But anyways, last we left our not so heroic heroes, we had returned to our tower and Visha disposing of the bodies as fertilizer, while the rest of us got Cersei settled in. Welcome home. We discovered that Wayland, Wesrold, aka, had made us dinner, and so over a nice family dinner we discussed our plan as to what we were going to do, settling on going to Glycenhall and talking with some other mages who may have ties to the government, or better ideas on how to bargain with a dragon. While we slept, someone or something cleaned our tower. Very weird. Even weirder, we all had dreams. I hesitate to call them that because they were not pleasant. Nyoka's arm taking control, nay demanding control, for the fight against the Wild Hunt. Cersei, memories of the first man she's ever killed, and then memories of her childhood and ghosts ruining her family, setting her on the path that she currently walks. Kura of her failed hunt and her fears for herself and her sister, and Visha of her collaring and not being good enough to protect anything or anyone. When we all awoke to somewhat frantic screams, we each had different pieces of information about a demon of knowledge called a casklid. When we all convened and began discussing, Visha was the first to notice that Wesrold was not there. We ran to his room, kicked in the door, and all we saw were shadows, and amongst them, a hideous creature. And that's where we left you.
Indeed, indeed. We last left off with our heroes storming into Westworld's room, seeing a humanoid figure in the corner, the room shrouded in shadow, when it is easily known, at least by Kura and Visha, that he never leaves a light off here. There's always a candle light at the very least in this space. Now we rejoin our heroes in a darkened room. What would you all like to do?
The first question that I have is, can I see Westworld?
Difficult to see anything in this place as your eyes begin to adjust from the lit hallways, looking into this sort of pit of darkness that is Westworld's room right now. Go ahead and give me a human perception check. Apologies. This would be awareness.
Are we all permitted to make this check?
17.
Not just yet. With a 17, Kura, you can see Westworld. He is the
Visha, but okay.
figure. Hello.
You're having a stroke. It's fine.
It's fine. I'm doing great. Visha, you see Westworld. He is standing in the corner. He is the figure that is shrouded in shadow.
Okay. Visha will take a step forward into the room and call to him. Westworld? And she's looking at this figure that everybody can see.
I do this. What is everybody else doing? Waiting for this to play out? Or are there moves to be made?
Cersei's going, now that her eyes have adjusted, and I imagine Visha kind of pointed Westworld out. Or rather, is now... It's been made apparent that it's Westworld. Cersei's gonna kind of take a step into the room and is going to clutch her pendant and prepare to cast Dispel.
Understood. Waiting for... This isn't like Dungeons and Dragons where you need a trigger, but what would be your trigger if you're going to cast this spell?
Hostility.
Any hostility? Understood. And then for Kura and Yoko, is there anything that you guys are up to? Or are you just waiting for this to play out?
How is the lighting situation in the tower? Are there like scones on the walls?
Sconces. Scones is a dessert, but yes.
Yeah. I'm hungry, leave me alone. I'm gonna grab one and I want to take it into the room with me.
Understood. And then Yoka?
Yeah, there is something I would like to do. I'm trying to find it. I was going to cast a sign.
Is it
Okay, yeah, Yurden. If I could cast Yurden into the room,
Describe.
or do I have to be in there? I got to be around it, so I'll go into the room as well.
Describe
and cast
Yurden for us.
Yurden, cinnamon cost is a variable. Effect creates a large magical circle on the ground around you. Anything that steps into the circle takes a negative to speed and reflexes equal to the number of stamina you spent until they exit the circle. Any incorporeal creatures that enter the circle becomes corporeal. Range is 3 meters, radius, duration is 5 rounds. And it's based off of the number of stamina I have. Now, with that said, would that mean it would affect everyone that's in the room?
Well, you can, I believe with the range, you can place this kind of where you would like this to be, if I'm not mistaken. With the range that it's on that, and with it being a circle, that can be placed on either you or your friends. I'm not sure you can change the radius of it, but you can position this essentially so it's wedged into the wall, if that makes sense. Yes, Williams.
Is on you, around him,
Oh,
the
I see.
caster. In a 3 meter radius.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Circle on the ground around you. So I guess I would have to be in the corner. But YOLO, I'm still gonna cast it. So
Yeah.
Um,
I would say you'd be able to catch you and your friends in this if you'd like to keep Westworld out of it. Or anything else that might be in this room, you can position yourself kind of back of the wall and
like
uh,
we actually saw the figure last session, right? Like it was a
Yeah,
smiling.
right now it's superimposed on Westworld.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, to which Visha like called that out when she saw that it was him, and then he's shrouded in this figure.
got you. Okay. This is my first time casting a sign. So it's just the amount of stamina that I spend that is that takes effect, right?
correct. Correct.
Okay.
And you can only
Stamina
spend up to your vigor.
up to my vigor.
Your vigor is 2.
Oh, my vigor's too.
Right. The 7 is
Uh,
the starting for mages.
then I guess I cast 2. I used 2 stamina. Yeah, if that's my max that I could use.
Understood. So multiple things happening at once. Crow bringing a sconce, a torch from the wall, in the hallway into the room. Visha calling out for Wezril. Cersei preparing to cast a spell, and Nyoko casting Yarden around himself and his allies. As all this happens, as the light comes into the room, the shadows dissipate. Nothing unnatural here. The shadows fall away at this sign of torchlight, and there you see Wezril, not smiling, just kind of droopy. His eyes half awake, half open, half closed. Standing, not facing away from you, but sort of facing side, his left shoulder hugging the wall, a piece of paper clutched into his hand. He looks half awake, half asleep. You call his name and he's,
She's going to run over to him and start to like almost like pat him down, grab his face. Are you all right?
I'm. Look, is it morning?
No. You're.
Why is everyone in my room?
Come lay down. And she's going to lead him back towards his bed.
He does. He comes with you. Yes, Cersei.
I would like to use telepathy on Wezril.
In what way?
Probe his mind, see if there's any invaders.
Understood. Describe telepathy. If there's any magical resistance or anything like that, or because we know what telepathy does, but is there any role or anything that would need to be defended against?
No defense. It
No
says
defense.
none on my sheet.
While that is happening, Visha is checking over him and like moving parts of his clothes, and she's looking for if there's any physical mark on his body that wasn't there previously.
Understood. Okay. So looking at telepathy, this won't work the way you want it to, unfortunately. This is a communication spell between the two people. There's nothing in here that would allow you to probe for invaders or anything like that. By all means, you may do this if you wish, and simply ask if he's alone.
Okay, I will do that. There is an aside in the margins called telepathic spying.
Yes.
That's essentially what I'm doing.
Yes. Absolutely, not a problem. So waiting kind of to see, listening to his thoughts, seeing if there's anything else that's nearby, or rather that's whispering in his mind. Absolutely. You can do this. You find that Wezril is alone. And Visha, you walk him to his bed. He kind of... It's as if he just woke up. As if he was sleepwalking. Sits down. I'm sorry, was I making a noise? Was there Everyone's in my room.
No, there was a demon.
What?
And he... Wake up, boy. And she will, like, tap his face, and will say, there was a demon in this room, in this tower.
I think I don't, what?
Right. And she's still, like, checking his body for a mark.
There's no mark to be seen. There's just that paper that's clutched in his right hand.
She's gonna pry it out of his hands. What's the last thing you remember?
Sleeping, dreaming. I was dreaming.
What were you dreaming about?
Learning. I kind of, you see his cheeks kind of go rosy for a second. He says, I was studying at Bernard.
I see. No one offered you anything in this dream, did they?
It was a dream. I was offered a great many deal of things. If I remember correctly.
Right, it's not just a dream. Then. And Visha will then tell them all what she was dreaming about before everything that happened. She brings up the collaring and hearing Catherine tell her she's not strong enough for what's to come, and the offer that was given to her, and then says, and when I woke, that is when I found the book with the writing within. Did the rest of you dream?
Yes. And my grimoire was out of its place.
I see.
Yes.
I was preparing to fight the Wild Hunt. And then I guess my companion offered to do it for me. It made disturbing comments about killing Kerr. No, Visha. Yeah.
Your companion. Oh, Christ. And she was, like, rubbing her temples.
It talks to you? That's not important right now.
I feel like that might be important.
I
Well,
mean, that
of
was
course.
the first to have. From what I remember, that was the first having like an actual. What was it like? Somebody there with me, right?
I see.
Her eyes fall to Kura.
Yes, I did. When I woke up, I had this notebook was filled with basically a journal on summoning, on why they did it.
Okay, all right.
This is a wizard's tower. So, Visha, would there be a section in your library dedicated to magical scrolls?
More than likely. Catfin did a lot of experimentation. He liked to push the bounds of magic. We would simply need to go look.
We should look for something to repel this demon.
Right.
Can I do like
Probably.
a monster lore?
Absolutely, you'd need to know the name of it. You just know that it's a demon right now.
Well, like, would I be able to find general information?
I think if you go ahead and roll me, either your Witcher training or monster lore. Because the key word for Witcher training is you may choose to roll Witcher training, if I'm not mistaken. So by all means, let's see what you can determine of this with everything you know so far.
22.
Interesting, very interesting. What you would know from the descriptions and from the dreams and the shadows and these promises that were made and these temptations that were given. You do indeed know it is a demon. You know that it is something that offers knowledge, preying on academics and mages and scholars. You can name it, it's called a casclet. They are not your forte. You know that there are every demon has a reason for tempting creatures into a bargain or a deal. This one's key is knowledge. That's all I can give you with a 22, unfortunately, because Mates does not beat Witcher.
Um, I just repeat because I think we all know that it's a casclet, right?
Yeah. Right, so we'll have to start there. I think there is, like, as she says that, she is like, her fingers are like gently rubbing over Westworld's hand, almost as if she's trying to like convince herself that he's still there and that it is him. And she has kind of a haunted expression for a moment. And then she steels herself and she'll get up and she will say, research then. And she will sort of gesture for, at the very least, Cersei to follow her. She goes to the library to start looking to see if Catherine has anything on this.
Cersei will follow, and I had left the grimoire in the lockbox in the library, so I'll go and collect it.
I think that given what just happened, we should make sure that none of us are alone. At least for the time being, till we've figured out exactly what's going on.
Right.
I think you should. I think you're right. You should stay with Westworld, and I'll be back. And I'll walk out.
Storyteller, knowing that it's a casclid and knowing that the griffins were more prone to knowledge, would I be able to see what my Witcher training might know?
You absolutely may roll Witcher training. Remember that you have luck.
I'm going to use 2 of my luck. I got a 20.
Not much else I can give you aside from what Nyoka knows. I will say that your school likely warned against them a little more thoroughly, but just same amount of knowledge that Nyoka has is what you would have. There's danger in knowing more. There's danger in researching. You might catch their eye. No, unfortunately, I can't give you any more information.
Is the grimoire where I left it? That's my next pertinent question.
Indeed it is.
That's good. So, she lets out a sigh of relief that it's still there, and she'll take it out of the box and go over to a table. And she'll say, when Resworld is in a better state of mind, he can also attest to this grimoire a bit, but this was... She's talking to Visha. This was a, fire vampires.
I see.
it is connected to the Wild Hunt in some way. I've never known it to do this. It's as if something is adding to it from afar. Something that I really, really don't want to be dealing with, but here we are.
When we were at your house, you went inside to get some things. The book on dragons and tales of the like. We felt something. This pulse of, I don't know if it was magic or what, but I felt it. That's why I came after you.
Okay, so you felt pulled to it as well.
Yes.
I don't know if that's because of the grimoire's special powers or what's being written inside of it.
When you got this grimoire, forgive me, I don't mean to bring up anything traumatizing, but you said you got it from higher vampires.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean anything against Lady LD, but she is a vampire. Is it possible that perhaps something she did or something about her could have awakened it?
I mean, I think it's more connected to the Wild Hunt and was a tool for the vampire, as far as I'm understanding.
Right.
Renwick, he wanted to expedite the Wild Hunt's return.
I see. There's, and correct me if I'm wrong, storyteller, but, Visha says there's a thing about these particular type of demons, the way they travel through shadow. They're hard to catch, but they are attached to another realm. Perhaps there's something, I don't know, maybe on the continent, or who knows, maybe there's a mage out there doing something, but perhaps the veil is weakening. So the demon is...
As you present this book, Cersei, I need to know if there is any point where Visha opens it, looks at the pages, or if that is even allowed.
I think Cersei has her hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
And as Visha's positing this, Cersei will say, I'm unsure. However, maybe we can flip to a page that last it was open to. I hesitate to read anything on it lest we give it power.
Right. Before we open it, let me see what I can find in here. And Visha is going to go over to essentially one of her sort of piles of tomes and magical scrolls that have been set aside, where like whatever Cadfan had of creatures, specifically creatures that are, you know, that would offer magic, things that would be like a demon, right? That would allow him to push the bounds of magic.
Interesting.
Don't say it like that.
Well, your library has recently been organized in a fashion that is not your own. But it has been
Instantly
organized.
annoyed.
And you have to, it's a matter of learning where things are at this point. But it's better than what Cadfan's system was. So let's call this intelligence and deduction.
Oh, Charles. Okay.
While that's happening, can I use my noggin to think of a spell that would repel, preferably repel demons, but repel monsters in general. A ritual, a spell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would that be magic training?
Yes, please.
I'm going to use my 1 luck on this because this is important. At 23.
23. And especially the result of your roll.
28.
28. There's a few spells that that could be used to kind of repel or to create a protective barrier. There is magic barrier, which, ironically enough, is in the book that you are discussing currently. There's also what Nyoka had cast earlier, Yarden. There's a number of spells that could create a barrier. As far as repelling, keeping demons away, even with a 28, I find it difficult to give you any information because you didn't specialize in Goetia. Nor did
Certainly
Aurelia.
not. Certainly not. However, I looked out of character. There's a spell Consecrate. Would Cersei know about that spell?
I think that Aurelia might have taught you something similar, yes. Not something taught you the spell, but taught you about it. Yes.
Right. Okay. So,
Um,
I'm sorry.
And with a 23, you said, Visha? 23. Looking for knowledge on demons, essentially, correct? What would be...
Yeah. What Cadfan might have had on demons.
With 23, you're able to find something, one of Cadfan's handwritten, one of his records, essentially. Something that records his knowledge on these creatures. Cadfan was a more, let's say, provocative figure. Poetic knowledge, mutation, these things that would be considered the dark arts, didn't really bother him. You're able to find an accounting, maybe too easily, about his experiences and the fact that there was something stealing from his tower. He had to isolate where it was coming from so that he could get rid of it. He suspected it might be a cascade or something crafted, something that would devour the knowledge that he had gathered here, that he had painstakingly gathered here all in one place. Of course, it would be a mecca for these creatures that devour knowledge.
Visha comes over to Cersei, places the book down, and says, "Of course." There's a moment where Cadfan, I suppose he had a run-in with them and understood that he holds a lot of knowledge here. Tried to isolate.
So it just seems like ill luck that whatever was written into this book is hungry for what's here.
Yes. I don't know if he managed this through a ritual or there is an item somewhere in this tower, but there may be remnants of what he did somewhere.
You may feel free if you wish to skip ahead in his journal.
She does.
As you do this, as you both have this realization and read the pages, we're going to check in on Kura and Yoka. What are our witchers doing?
Kura is with Resworld, just making sure he's okay, and then planning to escort him to the library.
I promise
Yoka
you, I'm
looked
fine. I just I wanted to go back to sleep, I was hoping, but if there's a demon afoot, I suppose that's out of the question. Uh, Everyone seems quite
Definitely.
rattled. I just remember sleeping. Was there something else that happened?
We all had. You sure your dreams were pleasant?
I wouldn't say pleasant, I would say more academic, more aspirational, I suppose.
All the rest of us had freaking nightmares, and you're just fine.
It's a welcome change after all the years of nightmares, would imagine. So I'm not going to complain about a night of good sleep.
Yeah, that's fair. But we should join the others. Right now is not the time for sleep, not with whatever is happening here.
Very well. He follows you to the library. While this happens, Nyoko, what are you up to?
I want to go look for like some potions or some oils that could possibly help. Would I at all be familiar with hymns? Because, well, I'll let you answer it.
I think that it's possible. Let's go ahead and, because you've been doing this a long time, let's go ahead and go Richard training just to see how much you would know, and that'll also help determine if you've ever had a run-in.
8, 15, 6 is what, 21?
21. I would certainly say yes. You have experience with him. Maybe one hunt. I would say that you know that it is classified as a specter, though it is actually a demon. It resides elsewhere. It feeds on negative emotions, mainly guilt, by latching on particularly despicable individuals. It torments the host by showing them hallucinations while they're awake, and nightmares when they sleep. It uses coercion to cause its host to retreat into solitude. I'll provide a content warning for our viewers for this next bit. So there will be a flash on the bottom of the screen. The hymn causes the host that it's feeding on to self-isolate and then eventually commit suicide.
Classified as a specter, right?
Commonly classified as a specter, but you would know better, as most experienced witchers would know that it is actually a demon.
But potentially, let's see. I don't think I have anything. This place does have. I mean, I imagine this place does have places to create potions and things of that nature. Shit, I actually got a traveling kit for that too, so it don't really matter.
There's an alchemy lab here.
Okay.
Visha is an alchemist, and there's a lab here. So
I'm sorry. All right.
You also were experimented on here.
Right. Here's the thing: you have an arm because of the lab here. So,
so with that said, I guess one, I would see if there is any specter oil within whatever, things that we do, storage that we do have. And if not, I would try to make some. I don't know if this will have any effect, but in my head it makes sense. Any relic oil as well, just in case, because I don't know.
I would say
demon
that
sounds old, so
I would say that you'd be able to find these things within the alchemical lab. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, if possible, I would like to grab at least one of each, because I don't think we could double dip our blades, and then find Kura to share one of the potions with her.
Absolutely. Easily done. You go after the spectral on this relic oil, and you may acquire these items. Absolutely. Rejoining your companions in the library. As you all converge on the library. It is here where Cersei and Visha. It's here where you determine some more information here. As you skip to the last few pages of this particular journal, this particular accounting of this event, where Catfan writes, I've discovered the source of the theft. I'm not entirely sure. I can't entirely classify or determine whether the object was created by a gaslit, but it is the book I came across. The grimoire that was given to me by colleagues. I suspect this was an attempt to sabotage me, to stifle my research, but difficult entirely to say. I will have to cast it out despite how much use it has been to me. The ink recedes and retreats depending on what I need. No matter though, it has to go if it is going to eat the library. Go on with it then, and I'll speak no more of it.
Visha would have been essentially reading this out loud to Cersei. It doesn't say anything further, but looks like he was using it for a time. He mentions a grimoire.
One of our potential paths in learning how to deal with Renwick was coming here to speak to Catfan about this grimoire. Did he pen anything in here? And I'll actually open it and flip through pages, see if Visha can catch his handwriting.
Oh, it's easy, Visha. Not even a roll is necessary. You find a number of bits of his handwriting, and as you flip through this, Cersei, there's a signature ritual of his, Cadfan's synthesis, that stands out to you, Visha. One of his special and his most prized creations. It creates a number of corpses, binds them together with a single amalgamated creature that moves and acts on the caster's commands. It's like a corpse amalgam, but much more, much worse. Kura and Nyoka, this is where you enter.
Yeah, that's him. And she will point out the particular spell. Anytime she's come across his writing as you were flipping through, she would have pointed out his handwriting.
I see. So then he may have information on this grimoire and the wild hunt, but that's for later. Demon first.
When you say he, do you mean Catfan?
He may have written journals about this, where it came from.
Yes.
Say this as well. As you flip through this, as we discussed, Cersei, this seems to be a little bit more full. And there's that ritual again for the uncontrolled summoning.
I think she would, once getting to that page, be like, this is what I found in here at home.
As Visha is looking at this particular summoning ritual, is this the same information that was filling the pages of that other book when she woke up from her dream?
Indeed it is.
This is what was being written when I woke.
Well, what are y'all reading?
The
Do you remember
grimoire.
Yes, do you remember the fight against, in the catacombs of Vizima? The higher vampire. This is his grimoire.
The first one, right?
Yes,
Is this
I've kept this safe this whole time.
Is this the same book that you think brought this here? That's affecting us?
Yes.
No. Well, yes and no. The Grimoire clearly has an effect. But Cadfan had already been having dealings with this demon and had to cast it out. Someone gave this Grimoire to him, and at some point, he broke ties with this demon and returned the Grimoire or gave it to your higher vampire. I don't know, but...
So, just to be clear, the same tune that's turning us on our own selves, you all are reading and indulging it to find more information about the creature that hunts people, that finds information.
Know thy enemy, Witcher.
And become its target.
Already a target.
From my perspective, Westworld is the target.
Come again.
Right.
We already have our bait. We don't need more than one.
I'm
And if
sorry,
it's
bait.
like its cousins, it's going to attach itself to one until it's drained. So
You are correct, Witcher. That makes sense. And she'll shut the book.
Kura, do you still have the notebook that you have in that you had discovered?
I've never set it down. I've just been carrying it the whole time.
Okay, I need to know where that is at all times. Thank you very much. Please continue.
oh shit.
I don't like that.
I'm gonna throw up. Okay. Visha.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I will pass one of the oils to Kura. And say apply this. It may or may not work, I'm not sure. But when it's time.
Would I know by looking at it what it is? Actually, I guess it depends on which one you handed me.
I don't know. Would you, Witcher? Would you know by looking at it?
You're so hostile. Stop it.
Roll Witcher training,
I'm educating.
Well, if it's the Spectre oil, I know what that is. I can make that myself.
Well, it's all oils. I would say that yeah. You would know the difference between Spectre and Relic oil.
I give you the Spectre oil because I feel like that one probably would have the best effect, if any effect.
This brings up a good point, at least for us. The dreams, and I'm turning to Cersei and Visha, the dreams and what was going on with Westworld. Do you say that those are types of hypnosis? Or is that some kind of power?
Go ahead, what?
Temptation.
Temptation. But dreams can also serve as a mode of transportation. A being that can tempt you, but also move from person to person.
Westworld, did you actually accept anything in your dream? Agreed to anything?
I was, as I said, I was. Shit.
What do you mean, shit?
I didn't know that it was. I was offered a teaching position at Bernard, and I was just. I'm sorry. I have aspirations. I was dreaming. I said I agreed.
I'm gonna look at the paper that I took from his hand. Is there anything on this paper?
It is the beginnings. The beginnings of the ritual for an uncontrolled summoning.
Visha slams the paper down, and she's not, her anger isn't directed at Westworld, but it is in her voice as she says, he was getting you to summon it.
Well, I didn't. So I feel as if I don't.
Didn't because we walked in. It's
But it
not your
requires-
fault.
It requires a bit more, doesn't it? A ritual requires more. I only know a few, and it takes
Right,
more
but you
time
have-
and effort.
You have all a demon would need. Westworld, you have a body. You have some capabilities with magic.
And it's
And you
as-
agreed.
as Visha has slammed this paper on the ground. There's I would like Cersei to make me a magical training, as you are not scolding Westworld currently in the moment. You have a little more freedom of thought.
I'm not scolding him, I'm just mad.
I know, it's okay.
23.
23. Looking at the paper, this ritual, this is the third time you've seen it, and you look it over, Cersei. This doesn't need Westworld. This doesn't need someone with magical capabilities. Anyone could do this. Anyone could do this.
No. Here's the thing about Goisha. It doesn't require magical aptitude, just a willingness to do something stupid. So, I suggest we look for rituals pertaining to consecration, barriers, defense.
Advent, he willed it away once before. He's got to have something in here. And Visha is just tearing through things, looking for however Catherine was able to will this thing away before.
Her,
Does
Uno, help me move these tables. I would like to set up like an open area with Westworld in the middle. So if this thing is attached to him and does come out to play, we, at least me and Kerr, can have ample space to combat this creature if we're able to physically, and hopefully not burn, important stuff to the ground. Yeah.
doesn't looking for information on it draw it to us more? Isn't that one of the things you all were saying?
What would you have me do?
Just making sure we're in the same train of thought. I would actually like to give me a second, Nyoka, and I want to go to the alchemy area and either make or find, if I've already made, cat potion.
While you're looking,
Mm-hmm.
2 questions, one leading into the other. Can I determine how this library was organized? Is there a method to the madness that I can then follow to find a ritual of consecrate or magical barrier, potentially?
Sure. Let's have a roll of intelligence, and
Education.
that would be it. That would sure be it. I was looking for academics. I would say, for your knowledge, Gura, yes, cat potion would be available to you in the alchemical. It's just a matter of seeing in the darkness and dim light. So I would imagine that you have that kind of ready on standby.
It also prevents hypnosis and gives you a chance to see through illusions.
Indeed. Cersei, the result of your roll.
16.
16. Yeah, it's not terribly difficult. It's organized from what you can tell. You can't tell the full organization of it, if I'm being absolutely honest with you. But you can tell that it's organized by subject. It's not by like author or year or anything like that. Books are grouped together by subject, and you can't really tell what subject goes where. It's not like alphabetized subject, where it's like, this is alchemy, this is bladesmithing, this is construction or woodworking. But it's organized by subject, and you kind of figuring out where the subjects are, and you can kind of have to map them out. But yeah, you can figure this out relatively quickly, given a little more time.
Yeah, I think Cersei is just looking at the bookcases and muttering to herself as she's mapping everything out. And as soon as she's had it figured out, she'll tell Visha where she can find everything.
Understood.
I'm gonna enter back in the library. Nyoka, take one of these as well.
You made
Now
this
we can
right?
move your tables.
You sure you created this right, or was this prepared previously, or?
Yes, I made it right. I'm pretty sure this is one thing I'm better than you at.
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
What?
Not until you prove it to me.
What is going on?
I'd give you one too, but you can't take it. Sorry.
Irrelevant.
You probably can't. I mean, you can take it. If survival is on the table, you might not survive, but
We're hunting a demon and you're talking to me of survival. Okay.
Is that what
and
we're doing? Are we hunting a demon in our home? Is that what's fully happening right now?
Would you
If we
prefer
don't
to
hunt
keep them
it-
here?
Well, I feel it just feels like we've gotten sidetracked again.
I would technically say we're ambushing a demon and the demon is hunting you. I think that's the most accurate.
I don't like that description either.
Right, so would you like for us to continue, or should we move on to the other things we were doing?
Well, are we going to? Is it hunting it? Are we summoning it, or what are we? What's happening
I
here?
would like, as she's looking at another section, I would like to find a way to consecrate the space so that it can't hunt us. Quality assurance.
Cersei, what you find on consecration is, unfortunately for you, how to avoid, how to break. Cadfan was kind of gross. There's of course the theory and like the discussion of what it is and how it's done, but mostly it's how you could get around it and how what would be needed to break through.
Do I find spell formulae or a step-by-step ritual?
What was the result of your roll? Was it 16?
It was a 16 to map everything out, and then that was leading into my next question of can I find what I'm looking for?
You wouldn't find that here, unfortunately.
I think she finds this section on rituals and she can't find it. She's like, shit. Well,
Yeah, I think Visha will look at Cersei and say, Cadfan was not that kind of mage. All his things are, well, to put it lightly, of the dark. He would welcome something like that here. Yes, torture, breaking things apart and putting them back together on different bodies, corpse manipulation.
You had to have a defense of some kind. I mean, this tower's in a swamp. I would imagine there are creatures you would like to keep out that have been kept out.
Oh,
Warriors.
His creatures.
I haven't shown you yet, have I? Right, come. And she will show Cersei the amalgamations, the things Cadfan created, things that he could use to defend this place. This is the sort of thing Cadfan did.
I apologize for my assumptions and ignorance.
No, it's fine. Cadfan was a bad man. Could not be helped. No, I think if we're going to find any defense, it likely is not going to be here. That place that we were going to go, it's got mages. Maybe they've got something. But Cersei, I know you want to keep this thing hidden away and safe. You bring this to a mage school, it's got a plethora to choose from.
Yes, I don't think they'd take kindly to that.
No.
Pictures? How long does that, purple circle last?
You okay?
Purple circle? Are you
The one
talking about Yearden?
In Westworld's room. Yes, that one.
Pretty sure the duration is variable.
It's 5 rounds.
5 rounds. That is correct, pupil.
Not
Which
pupil.
in time, that's like, what, 5 minutes?
Yes,
No.
let me...
Not even.
No, it's
Oh,
even less. Rounds
so
are 3
much
seconds
less.
each. Yeah. That's,
It ain't gonna do shit unless it's here. Sorry, Cersei.
we would
No.
have to summon it and then use that ability, and that will only last mere seconds.
Or, again,
Yes.
we have the live bait here. We extinguish the lights, allow it to
We-
feed, and
we are
then
not
when it presents itself, we
I'm not a fan of
Ambush.
that
That you
plan.
keep calling
Just
him
wanted-
bait.
I just wanted
No,
no, I'm
no,
not a fan of that plan.
Right.
all you have
Westworld
to
is
do is not agree to the temptation.
but he already did.
True.
And who knows what the next temptation will be? It might be harder to resist.
Well, we don't know exactly
Well,
if that's how it works. I feel as if we're talking ourselves in circles when we don't really... I don't mean to call anyone out, but it seems like none of us really know what we're dealing with here, or how to combat it, or what it wants, how this really works. I don't mean to question, and he looks specifically to Cersei and Visha, I don't mean to question your magical expertise, but I think this is putting us on a bit of a level playing field. I don't know what I'm up against, or what to do here. But it seems like we're all pretending that we do. And I don't think that that's helpful.
Right. So then
You
what
know-
do you suggest?
I suggest we fucking get rid of the book. I suggest we get rid of the creature, whatever have you. I don't think that it's... If it was physically here, then why wouldn't it do more?
Because everything that's here is what it wants. It craves knowledge.
And if Cadfan got
Have
rid
it-
of the book, then why don't we just get rid of the book?
So it can end up in whose hands?
Was what I actually meant to ask you, but I was going to wait, but maybe now is a good time. When you were, how to say this, with Renwick, did he speak of this grimoire, what he wants it for, what it can do?
He used that particular tome for the rituals contained inside to open gateways and to lure in the wild hunt.
It's precisely why I cannot just let it go. So nobody can do that. Nobody can find this thing and do that.
Well then, I'm... It's quite a noble cause, but I think you all need to leave. Post haste. If it wants everything in this tower, then... And if it was eating Cudvern's library, then... I don't know that keeping it here or remaining here is the best course of action. Now we could... There's 5 of us. There are 2 very capable mages, 2 very capable witchers. I have no doubt that at the very least we would be able to stand our own against this creature, but simply removing it from its feeding source, I think, might be the best course of action.
Perhaps if we go to Gwyson Hall, we could keep it in the wagon in the hidden compartment, so it doesn't have a new feeding ground.
Yes.
If the book's moving, as you've said, it keeps getting out of the box.
That's why I
Who
was
knows where
asking
it could
about
end
your...
up there.
That's true. That's why I was asking about your Yearden sign, to see if it could create a barrier.
Won't last long enough.
If we just
Either
stand there
way.
and keep doing it,
Oh,
it's not
eventually,
feasible.
eventually,
And
you'll
it's not
pass
a-
out.
A barrier to begin with. It merely would make it susceptible to physical damage.
The only other alternative I can think of is to summon this creature and kill it.
This may be a dumb question, but what have you tried in the way of destroying this book?
I haven't. I wanted to... If the wild hunt is truly a threat, I wanted to know thy enemy.
This is a way of pulling the wild hunt in, and it's causing all these issues. I feel like the trade-off isn't worth it.
I thought, and I don't know much about demons, but what if the book is its... maybe not the prison, but the lock to its prison? And in destroying it, you destroy the lock. Either way, we have to go to Gwyson Hall. And I don't know. Look, I trust that you are capable of destroying monsters, but this is a demon. I don't. It will have to be dealt with, but are we truly capable of destroying it?
Nyoka, for
Well-
your knowledge, that hunt ended with you successful against the him. It took chunks of you. It was a difficult fight, but it was just you.
Not all demons are the same. Him feeds on fear, desperation, but it uses very much the same tactics: shadows, isolation.
Okay.
The best way that we can deal with it is either starving it, like Westworld says, which could take a matter of days, constant guarding, and illumination fire, or we could summon it, and try to rid of it ourselves.
Okay. What if we did both? summon it in a place where there is no knowledge for it to feed off of. If that's where it takes its strength.
Me personally, I'm not sure if it takes its strength off of knowledge. I think this book is its traveling mechanism. Those who utilize the book is its feeding source.
Okay. And you've not used any of the rituals in here, Cersei?
Give me that look, Game Master.
Have you?
In the fight against Renwick, I learned one spell from it. This was many, many months ago, last year.
I see. Okay. Well, then in essence, you're marked.
I have a silly question for the Game Master.
I might have a silly answer.
If I'm brave and open the page of uncontrolled summoning, can I see if there is a signature of the mage who wrote? Because every mage is pompous and wants their mark on the world.
Sure. If you want to be brave and open the tome, there is no signature. And the way that this is written, it is... If cursive could have chicken scratch, if cursive was long and thin and spider-like, there is no signature, though. And as this is your fourth time looking at this, I'll go ahead and just let you know that this requires, again, as I said, no, you don't need any magical potential to use this. All this requires is a stick of chalk.
Kara did bring up the journal in our last session, correct?
Indeed.
Visha's gonna go over to Kara and she's going to grab the journal from her. Is there
Rather aggressive.
a demon? And she's going to look at this journal. Is there I assume there's nothing on the cover, like it's just like a leather bound thing. But if she were to open it to that first page, does it have a like this journal belongs to? Is there like an entry where she could see who this belonged to?
No, this is, and I'll give you more information. This is just a journal. This is just a notebook, a empty book that was in the library where the ink has been transferred to.
Did you catch a name?
Was no names. There was basically a manuscript of exactly how they did it and their regret at the end for doing it. Just referred to them as them.
Do you open the journal?
They.
Yeah, I opened the journal.
The ritual is there. And this again keeps getting brought up. I'll give you guys more. This ritual requires a circle of chalk, and you're calling out a name, choosing a name, or searching for something in your heart that links to your desire, whatever you need from this summoning. This is just casting a net blindly into the sea of the abyss. But in this journal, after the ritual, is just the name scrawled over and over and over and over.
Is it, oh God, is it a thing that when you, or rather, is the energy that I get from this, right? Is it that like the summoning happened and then the caster or the ritual person succumbed to a kind of madness?
Oh, in the journal?
Yeah, because you said it's like the ritual and then there's just the name of the thing over and over again. So is it like I'm getting madness
Give me
from
human-
this journal?
Give me human perception.
Hey, great. Let's
Having
do
read that entire book, can I just answer that question for her?
It's a 20.
Nope. With a 20.
Yeah.
It's not madness. It's insistence. It's urging. You're not trying to cast a net into the abyss. You're trying to... It wants to talk.
Oh, okay.
And so
Yeah,
its name is over and over. Yanashe. 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 It's giving you its name.
Because she's facing Kura, there is a moment as she's seeing the name over and over again where you see a kind of like pupil dilation happen. Almost like there is a desire to say the name.
And that's mine. I'm just gonna take that back from her.
Yes, right. Okay. So we leave and hopefully can starve it out, eventually summon it and kill it. I don't see too many options for us, but it wants to be heard. It wants to be summoned. And it's going to keep trying. The longer we have that grimoire.
I don't think starving it's gonna work. Cersei, you've had this for at least 10 months.
Longer.
And it's not like you were in a mage's tower or the schools the entire time. You've kept it in a box, right?
Yes, and it was only until 2 days ago that this ritual appeared in it, which has never happened before with any other magical writing.
What about to any of your workers? Any disappearances or?
No, nothing, no magical anomalies that I'm aware of.
It wants to talk. Listen. Don't have to do anything with this information, but it's just a thought. Renwick was using this because he wanted to bring the Wild Hunt. Correct?
Right.
And at any point in time, he could have. Something stopped him, something got in the way, maybe he got power hungry in other things. I don't know, but this demon wants to talk. It wants to come forth and say something. Maybe it wants to talk about Wild Hunt. Maybe it has... warning sounds weird to say, but maybe a warning. I don't know, but...
I have a more unsettling thought.
Okay.
So the book was quiet for 10 months until we show up near it.
Right. And we have a Witcher who wants to fight the Wild Hunt.
You. Everything.
Okay.
Okay. I'll leave it Nyoka being the Witcher with a personal mission against the Wild Hunt, would it be worth, would losing the knowledge, potential knowledge of the Wild Hunt written within these pages, or gleaned in another way, would losing that be worth it?
You're asking the wrong person.
But I don't
Wrong
think I am.
Richard. Well, then my answer would be nothing's worth losing if it contains information about the Wild Hunt. With that said, though, my personal belief about this demon is that we root it out as soon as possible, starve it, make it appear, and destroy it. If it's like the other, it attaches itself to the host. So removing the book isn't going to do anything.
Well, that's my concern as well, is that we can't make it appear unless we do summon it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be pushing this ritual so hard.
Correct. And
It's an
perhaps the
uncontrol-
only reason it didn't appear to Cersei is because there was no desire for knowledge, information. You were content. And when we came, there was a lot more ambition and desire introduced.
It came out for the first time when you were looking for information about dragons.
Would it... If it has information on the Wild Hunt, would it have information on this dragon?
It's a demon. I'm willing to bet it had information on anything that anyone needed.
And whether that information is true or not, we probably won't know until we're having to use it.
Well, like Wezrold said earlier, we are talking in circles and theorizing when there is work to be done. So my next thought is to go to Gwyson Hall. Perhaps I can barter with their librarian for access to a consecration ritual. When we have that, we can go from there. I'd also like to do more research in this library when there's time.
Of course. Right, well, to travel then.
In the
Perhaps
middle of the night.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I am not going to be able to sleep. I don't like having idle hands. So
Very well. It just seems a bit dangerous to depart from here, from within the swamp, unless you're planning on creating a standing portal to elsewhere. But it's a matter of where you're going, I suppose.
we'll be going to Gwyson Hall.
I've never been. I can't
Never mind.
create a portal there unless I use pyromancy, but even then, I imagine they have resistances against that thing.
Right, so we're going to be doing this the old-fashioned way, and traveling, you can sleep in the cart.
Oh, I'm going!
Would you like to be here alone?
I was under the impression I was returning to the tower.
I'll leave it up to you, dear, if you'd like to be a coward, or if you'd like to join and have safety in numbers.
not even saying that it's a matter of being a coward or not. There's the chance that this thing is latched onto you at this point. You did accept its offer.
I said yes in a dream.
That's apparently all it takes.
Is it? Again, we don't know that. We quite literally don't know that.
Russell, you were writing an uncontrolled summoning.
Technically, I didn't write it. I just had it in my hand.
I'm going to go. And you can choose whether to follow or not. I would prefer if you were with us, just in case. You have another dream, and then suddenly you're standing in a chalk-drawn circle summoning a demon.
With that declaration, that is where we're going to take our break. See you all very, very shortly. People linked in destiny will always find each other.
Tell me, what shall I teach
You are monsters.
How could we know who the real monsters are? How does one know if they are one?
Monsters are more than just horrid looks and claws and teeth. Monsters are born of deeds done, unforgivable ones.
We fight the monsters so that others can know peace. Peace that we will never know.
So you ready to kill monsters, huh? The question you should ask yourself is, are you willing to become one?
Hello and welcome back to this episode of Witcher Last Light. We last left our heroes as they made a decision to depart the tower, the safety of the tower, and to just head on the road. All of them, dragging Wezrold along. Now I believe the plan here was to standing portal to Gamara, so that you guys can make your way, or rather, standing portal to Gamara, and then travel the rest of the way to Gwyson Hall from there. Since none of you guys have been there and you can't really teleport there just yet.
Yeah. Visha, once we're, all packed up, have our things, our preparations, all of that into the wagon, she will do the standing portal to essentially like an right outside of the city. I imagine there's like forest and like a trail that leads towards the city, correct?
There is. And we'll get to the Gamara's description as well as you guys make your way. But I would like to note as well, Cersei, you had something you wanted and that you have been asking for a number of sessions at this point. If you'd like to make that known.
Yes, as we're after we decide on what we're doing, Cersei will prepare for travel, change her clothes for something more travel appropriate, and then pull Visha aside and say, Visha, I have a question.
All right.
I was wondering if you knew of a particular ritual that Cadman could potentially had in his library for summoning familiars through this, and shall produce the crystal fox skull.
Well, it's worth a look. Give me a moment. And she will look through her things to see if Cadvan had a ritual to find a familiar.
Easily found. It's not something he ever yearly used, it's just something that was in the library.
She'll return with it. Found it.
Now I would never ask for anything for free. You've already given me access to your home as it is. In the wagon are some of my own rituals in my collection, if you would like me to teach them to you.
Yeah, I would like that.
Perfect.
I'll take a look at them. I'm sure you noticed before the standing portal, it does take a bit from me. So, you'll have to be extra eyes and ears while I recover.
Sure thing.
She will hand over the scroll. And then once we're ready to go, she is essentially wants to make this portal obviously out on the road, but a little bit a ways away. The equivalent of like parking several blocks over from the actual location. Because things are a little weird about mages right now. And so she doesn't want to give up the ghost before it's time.
Understood. For Nyoka and Kur, is there anything that you prepare before you leave?
The usual, potions, oils, ingredients, blades, sharpened blades, work out the kinks of armor, things of that nature. Yeah.
Pretty much the same. Mostly just need to get dressed.
Understood. You do this, and with the portal being set, you're able to navigate past the Darelin mountain chain that just lies just to the south of you, where the dragon is said to be making its home. Heading to the capital of Gamara city itself, and you wanted to transport yourself just outside of it.
Essentially, but a little ways away, because she imagines there's probably guards and stuff like that. She doesn't think they will take well to people suddenly appearing out of a portal. So she, is going to give a little bit of distance so that they can travel up to the city gates.
Understood. You do this. Gamara's capital city is its largest city. Though there are those that would hesitate to even call it a city in and of itself. Those that have been to the capitals of Toussaint, Matina, even Ebbing. Gamara is, there's a saying that there are no cities in Gamara, just dirt roads that lead you to villages. Gamara is a city, and what was originally the country of Gamara was a rough place, but by kings, queens, dukes, all hardy people, added to Nilfgaard for its demeridium mines, the metal used to stifle mages and their magics. There was a time when the mages in Gamara refused to register themselves with the Empire, which led to the creation of the Mage Hunters. Here you find yourselves at the edge of the capital city of Gamara. You're able to see the torches, the lights off in the distance. You having rushed through the portal, making sure that nothing is left behind. You are now far from home. The tower, for all intents and purposes, abandoned.
So the first question I have as we come here, you mentioned the mines and mage hunters. Is there a sensation as we like step out onto the earth of like a waning of our magic?
Out in the open, no. If you were closer to the mines, however, almost certainly.
Okay. All right. Okay, wonderful. So, Visha, before she had left, had changed. She had put on. Visha, for the most part, dresses very fancy, and often showing off her figure and such. But she's dressed down for this. She's made herself look more. Feral is probably the word that I'm looking for. There's something about her that looks. I've mentioned it before. Piratey. Just a rough and tumble lass is what she looks like. There is her like scepter and these things she's kind of hidden away within her cloak to not give any obvious signs of her mageness.
Understood. So any conversation as all of you step through the portal and see the city of Gamara in the distance.
We know about this place. I've not traveled far into Nilfgaard.
Well, there was a time. Have you heard of the mines? The stone that they gather there. Used to,
yes.
Yes. It led to the creation of a group, mage hunters. So, hence the change.
Now, Cersei, you have experience with mage hunters.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Definitely tenses and draws the curtains of the wagon.
They're a rough and they're a salt of the earth kind of people here. They not afraid to slit throats if they need to. If it ensures us another day of survival. So.
So,
Noted.
should we expect the same kind of welcoming as we did in Tucson? Mage hunters, witcher hunters.
I think it would be wise to err on the side of we will not be welcomed if we're out in the open.
Well, it's the middle of the night, correct?
Sure is.
Okay. Well, if we simply travel through, we can make camp some kilometers outside the city.
That is my intention. Oh, sorry, allergies. Yes, if we just continue traveling through, we can probably make it past a majority of the issue, but
Wazirul
keep your
speaks
guard
up and
up.
says, "Weren't we supposed to come here to speak with the nobles about the dragon, though? Would it be wise to just travel through?"
Well, it's hard to say.
Well, it's the middle of the night. We know its location, so we can always come back.
Perhaps a bit more well-armed after visiting Gleisenhorn.
But I mean, we're already here.
Would you, Westworld, like to speak to the nobility here?
No, that's why we got Cersei. What are we doing right now?
I'm only saying, yes, I would be willing to speak with them, but it is the middle of the night. And given the description of this place, not my a idea to stay overnight?
Perhaps what we should do then is make camp here. And she sort of gestures out to the forest area. Make camp here until the morning. And then speak to the nobles at a more appropriate hour.
I'll be honest.
Oh, go ahead.
We could have just stayed at the tower.
Why are you being so difficult?
I'm just saying, there were beds there. Now we have to
You're
sleep in
being
a
so aggressive.
wagon.
There's only so much obstinance I can handle, Witcher, before I lose my patience entirely. Your options are, we ride through to the other side of the fucking city and rest, or we rest here and talk to the nobles on the morrow. Which would you prefer?
Whichever, the groups like,
Oh, and now we're agreeable. We're making fucking camp. And she's
I was already started. I just started unloading.
If I may,
What?
why not a third option? I'm sure that Gamara has inns.
She wants to strangle him.
Sense.
Yes, I bet they do. But we're also trying to starve the book thing.
I'm also
So going
trying
into
to
the
lay
town.
low.
May not be the best way to do that.
I mean, do you have a beacon on you that says I'm a mage in hiding? Sorry, I don't see why we're camping at this point. I'm inclined to agree with Nyoka that we could award ourselves a bed. We just travel a bit in and just spoke to the innsmith.
Fine, you're paying.
How does Nilfgaard feel about elves?
Of course, doesn't give a shit.
You're paying.
Nilfgaard accepts everybody.
You're paying
long as
for
you serve
every
the
single
army.
one of us. You're paying for every single one of us to have a room.
Well, I
agree
figured
with
that
you, Wes.
since we were all concerned about safety in numbers and such, that one room would be...
I didn't say we wouldn't be in one room, but you will pay for a room.
That's fine. Why are you so aggressive right now? I'm just saying that there was a third option. We can camp if you want to camp. I don't mind camping.
She looks at Kura. I'm going to strangle him.
At this point,
Light
I'm just
of
going
the
to start
city would be
ushering
beneficial.
you. Let's go have a conversation over here for a minute.
She's glaring daggers into Westworld. She's like, I saved you from a fucking demon. Don't be mad at me, ST, that you have to fucking roleplay. But she will go with Kura.
We'll join you for that conversation, and we'll see what Nyoka and Cersei get up to while you guys have this conversation very shortly. Please, the two of you first.
You want to tell me what's going on?
Visha will look at Kura and say, we have a list of problems, and I don't think we can solve them.
But we have had a list of problems, and you have not been like this. You're being extremely aggressive since tonight. Since you woke up.
You weren't there, Kura. You don't know what it was like. Having all your power suffocated. Because some man deemed it so. Withholding knowledge above my head like a fucking carrot on a stick. Worse still, he held you above my head, letting me believe you were dead. And now, a dragon, a demon, a fucking war. I don't have... I'm not like Cersei. I don't have the knowledge or the connections that she does to protect us. And I hate it. And everyone's so fucking cavalier about it all. It's not funny to me.
Cavalier because we have to be. Otherwise, we end up exactly in the situation you're in. You're right, I wasn't there. But he held you over my head, too. And it's not fair because you're angry to take it out on all of us around you. That.
I think Visha walks forward and puts her forehead on her sister's forehead. And barely above a whisper, she says to her, I've already lost so much. I can't lose you too.
I will hug you. And I will whisper back. Well, chances are you're not going to. We will go together. Always. I'm going to squeeze a little tighter.
There's a moment of tenseness from her, but then eventually she does give in to the hug and holds her sister.
With a proclamation of "we go together always," cast our eyes back over to a possible camp where Cersei, Wezril, and Yoka still are. What are the two of you up to?
I think Cersei is gathering, going through the motions that she used to, last year. Gathering her bedding arrangements, and she's got a neutral face. Her shoulders are a little slumped, and she's constantly kind of checking the road as well.
And Yoka?
You know, I'm not really good at this, but I get a feeling that things are tense. Do any of you all get that?
I would say so. Oh, I'm sorry. No.
No, I was going to say I feel that, yes.
Then yes,
I Why did you change your answer?
I feel as if when I open my mouth around specifically magical women, I seem to end up with my foot in it.
Doesn't mean you should not speak your mind, though.
I don't have an issue speaking my mind. I'm so tired. And I don't want to argue. I had assumed that we were going to power through this tonight and travel through. Then we got here and we started talking about making camp, and traveling on past the city and then making camp, and it's just... Yoko has a good point. We could have just stayed in the tower.
Well, be that as it may, we're here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, making camp.
Are we making camp or are we going to the town? That's either way. I'm fine with either one. I'm just, I'll be honest. I'm at a loss. I'm not sure what's happening.
I think we're making camp because it would make Visha more comfortable to have everyone just in a outside of the area where we might be accosted or looked at strangely. I think that the woods are the equalizer in this scenario.
Well, if that's the case, then I will start making an ample amount of torches, as we need to keep the darkness at bay. Unless you're to be a buffet.
Do we know for certain that the shadows are going to... And we don't know that it's me just yet, do we? It's not a sure thing.
It was... I don't know. Yeah. There was a creepy demon-like entity
Alright.
in your room.
Then why don't we just leave the some candles on in the wagon, because it can sleep 3 comfortably. I'm not opposed to just squeezing in, but it might be a bit uncomfortable. But it fits 3 comfortably.
Fine by me.
And then we won't need to give away our position with torches.
That's fine. I'll probably stay up regardless.
You need rest, Nyoka.
Once day breaks, and we get back on the move, I'll just rest in the back.
That's entirely fair.
Cersei continues to kind of go about her business as the silence falls. I think falls on the 3 of them. And a bit... She herself feels a bit awkward. There's still that unspoken elephant in the cart between herself and Wezrold.
Indeed there is. And as this is unspoken, Visha and Kura, you may rejoin the rest of the wagon. We have to stop calling it a cart. It is a full wagon, guys. Please, I'm begging you.
This is where, coming up, Kura is kind of nudging Visha along.
Don't want to.
Too bad. You know you have to. Go.
She'll fucking amble forward, and there's a moment where she's just like looking up at the stars and like pure irritation on her face, and then she'll look to the group. I'm sorry. I'm a little tense after the whole demon debacle, and I should not have taken it out on the group.
Taking what out on the group?
Apology accepted. There's no hard feelings. I think we're all a bit... We've prepped the wagon for camp. I'll sleep on the floor of the wagon, since there's only the 3 cots. So we can all comfortably rest inside. And then, Noka had the good idea of lighting the candles within it, so we could keep the darkness at bay.
I suggested torches, but I'll settle for candles.
Visha smiles, but it's not really a smile. It's more like she's baring her teeth. But she smiles and says, "That sounds fine." Well, good night then. And she's gonna climb into a cot and just like
For logistics purposes, for the scope of this wagon, you guys aren't all on the floor. There's sort of like the 2 benches inside where people would sit that have like the fold outs that like you could prepare 2 beds, and then there's the third that was an upgrade, where you can kind of fold down a panel or a third bed exists. And then there is no fourth, so this is why it is uncomfortable to sleep 4, because the 4th person has to sleep kind of on the floor. So I will ask, Wesreld has volunteered to sleep on the floor. Is there any objection?
I will take the floor.
You
can have the bed. And that way I can closer. Shut up.
Understood. There's a bit of a back and forth, but eventually you may win out if you so choose, Kuro. Is there any last minute things before you guys all fall to sleep?
Cersei will exit the wagon to just have a moment of privacy. And to her bonding pair, to her ring, she will whisper, oh my god, I'm blanking on where we are. Gamera, sorry. In Gamera, safe and sound. I love you.
There's no immediate reply. No notion. Communication. But it does make you feel better, Cersei.
You know, that's all she does. If no one speaks to her, she will go to sleep.
Understood. Anybody else?
Just a side note that I think it's a fitful rest for Visha. I think anytime she feels herself actually, like, truly falling asleep, she jerks awake. She's a little afraid to end up in another dream.
Good to know. Anybody else?
I'm not going to sleep.
Understood. What would you like to do instead? Just keeping watch? Okay.
Keeping watch. Passerbyers, or if there's torches coming through, or any creepy crawlies in the night. Keep an eye on Westworld.
So I'm going to give you a choice of role here. This will be an endurance roll for you, or Witcher training. For you, Visha, jerking awake, trying to, that worry about going to sleep. Go ahead and give me a body endurance roll.
$22.
22.
I did explode. Would I add my body to it still, or would it just be Witcher by itself?
Witcher training. It's just
Okay.
intelligent Witcher training.
If I did do my endurance, I would be able to add my body to it.
Correct.
Okay. Then yeah, I would prefer to add
Body
my
endurance?
body to it. Yeah, body endurance.
Okay.
But yeah, 30.
30. While Kura, Wezruld, and Cersei sleep, Yoko, you stand firm, watching it. Are you in the cart, or rather in the wagon, or are you on the outs, looking out into the road?
I'm periodically moving from place to place, sitting on the wagon, checking inside the cart, standing in the little camping ground area that we created. Yeah.
Understood. And it's this sort of peek in and peek out kind of helps you, Visha, the 22, begin to nod off every once in a while, and you shake awake. With Nyoka's help, unbeknownst to him, you stay awake. Your sleep does not come, and these moments where you begin to drift, all it takes is a piece of chalk and a name. And that name echoes in your head. A circle of chalk and its name. For Cersei and Kura, sleep comes. Temptations do not. Eventually, the sun rises. And you all may make your way, rise as you will. Prepare for your day.
Visha, I think because she never really slept, I think she gets up before everyone else. She does see, of course, Nyoka is still awake. I think she goes into her bag and she starts to roll essentially a cigarette, but it's of those herbs that she gives Nyoka. And I think she climbs out of the wagon, kind of goes around it so that like Nyoka isn't within her line of sight. And I think she lights it. And her hands are shaking.
With the lack of sleep and this cigarette here, Visha, for the day, you're going to be taking a -1 to all of your reflex skills.
Yeah.
Do I smell it?
Oh, I think that that's a very familiar smell to you, Nyoka. Yeah, absolutely.
I make my way to it and join in.
You do this.
Burley?
Visha's... Yeah. I didn't sleep very well.
I noticed someone was moving quite a bit. But you mind if I share?
Since I'm the one you're getting it from, no. And she'll hand over the cigarette.
Never really noticed you smoking these before.
I haven't in a long time. When I was younger, helped keep the nightmares away.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's why you didn't sleep.
Yeah. All it takes is a bit of chalk and a name. A lot of our problems disappear.
Well, probably a lot more than that.
To protect my sister, it'd be worth it.
There's other ways of protecting her. And you're not the only one here to do it. So, don't think you have to do it on your own.
Careful,
And if
Witcher.
you...
I might think you like me.
This is the longest I've been around people. So,
I'll consider myself honored then.
I'll pass the cigarette back. And go back to making rounds.
You do this. You see Cersei and Kura rising, Westworld rising. And Visha, you have a moment alone. Main inhabitants of the wagon can all begin to prepare to travel, either to or through Gamara. Really, it's still not entirely set in stone. That's for you guys to discuss now if you wish, as you are packing up. Visha will get to you very shortly on your moment alone.
Good morning.
Morning. How did you all sleep?
Fine.
The wagon's cots
Thank
are pretty comfortable, actually.
you. I made sure that they
Oh!
were.
You were going to say something.
No, yes, I am just mulling over our plans for today. You had suggested speaking to the aristocracy of Gamara since we are here. I just am apprehensive given the I'm paranoid.
Well, if it makes you feel any better that they are... The Gamarans are, Nilfgaard took them for their soldiers, for their warriors. But the people are known to be cordial and sincere, if not also violent and cruel on the battlefield. They are what they say what they mean what they say. They're just hard people.
He nods. Now, I suppose then the next question would be, we speak to them about this dragon problem. Though we are that is part of our conversation with the mages of Gwyson Hall as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it makes the most sense to me to go ahead and try to talk to them and see if we can get some assistance. The more, the better.
If nothing else, they can know that there is a Dragon.
Right next door.
Yes. Okay. Well, let me put my face on then. And Cersei will prepare for the day, as she always does. Just in a less spacious setting.
Burrow will prepare as she normally does, but she did bring a cloak after their last interaction. Words. To cover and tuck in the pendant, even though she hates doing that.
Do this. And Visha, in your moment alone, is a very interesting thing that a lack of sleep does to you. Paired with a substance as such you've imbibed, it's very easy to dismiss these voices as hallucinations. Together. You'll die together. It doesn't have to be that way. You could do it now. While they're preparing. Go off, draw some chalk on the sticks, make a circle.
No, I'm not slow. I'm not slow.
You're not. You'll die with your sister clutched in your arms. By dragon's fire. By wild hunt blade. By the white frost of snow in winter. All you're doing is picking your death.
Visha is... At first it comes slow, but it turns into a panic attack. She starts to hyperventilate. But Visha has had many years to know how to hide a panic attack. So her breaths don't come hard that anyone can overhear her. And she doubles over on herself and starts to clutch at her head, just mumbling to herself, no, 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 no.
And it doesn't help, Visha, this repetition of just lists that you made. Coming from your voice, a demon, a dragon, a war, a demon, a dragon, a war, a demon, a dragon, a war. How are you going to die, Visha?
She's clenching her teeth, and I think her nails start to dig into her scalp. She remembers a woman from when she was a child who worked at the pleasure houses, who taught her a trick. If you're feeling pain, your body does this funny thing. If you double that pain, you won't feel the first pain. And she just starts digging into her scalp, using that secondary pain to erase the other.
Understood. You do this to focus in. Eventually your friends are ready to go.
The moment that she hears the sound of them like ready for movement, she makes sure to stomp out the very little bit of that cigarette left, and then picks it up and puts it in her bag, because she doesn't litter, and wipes at her face, composes herself, and then comes to the back of the wagon, ready to go.
It seems we're going to try for an audience with the nobility here before we leave.
Right? Okay. Well. And she will like wipe at whatever like dirt she might have accumulated to make herself a little bit cleanlier. And say, okay, ready when you are. She will amble up into the wagon.
As she's getting in, Kura will start to move out to go around to get to the front and then start driving. But as she moves past you, she's just going to kind of grab at you, at your wrist, and give it a little squeeze. Not saying anything, not even looking, and just move around. Start driving.
Is there any conversation that takes place along the way? What is the plan here? Are you going to entreat with the nobles? Are you traveling through?
Yes, I think, given that this was what they asked Cersei to do, if this is what they would like to do while they're here, or while we're here, she is amenable to doing that. I think the only conversation that would be had is her just asking Westworld, kind of like, do you know anything about the people here? Do you know any names? And then like going into her own head, like, okay, what did I learn about politicking? Something I have not done in a long time.
Oswald says, well, the city is run by what I understand to be a duke of some sort. Obviously the emperor is the paramount power that commands Gamara, but he leaves a duke in his stead in order to govern the region. The family itself faced strife last century when the current duke's namesake imprisoned his sister. It's a long and storied history. Unimportant to our dealings now.
And I think she does her best to not look nervous.
They're a hard people, but in the best way. I imagine a modicum of honesty will go a long way. And in the end, this dragon, they will want to protect their people. So perhaps that's the best angle.
With honesty, you said that the Mage Hunters were created because the magical folk of Gamera didn't want to register with Nilfgaard, so perhaps they will be sympathetic. If I'm understanding correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
I do not know if they still practice these things now. But I imagine there are people who appreciate as much freedom as they can get, despite being a part of an empire. So, yeah. Approaching them with that kind of respect and the warning of the dragon could go a long way.
nods. And essentially kind of goes into herself and starts going through public speaking preparation tricks. You can tell she's hyping herself up in a way, and you're like, oh yes, and Nilfgaard etiquette is such and such and such, as she's essentially preparing to be the face of this little group.
You travel, and your wagon gets a few looks as you travel through this city, heading toward what was once the castle for the King of Gamara. You are stopped by guards who inquire your business.
We are passing through, but we had planned to stop and have some conversations with the people in charge.
Well, I remember you. You you entered with Duke Roderick. He can give you what you wanted, eh?
Do I hear this?
Did not.
I would say so. It's all one wagon.
Yeah. There's like a little window door thing between the driver's seat and the enclosed space. Cersei will open it, stick her head out, and say, "Good morning."
Morning.
Yes, we would like to speak with the Duke. There is pressing business, and I think there is something he would like to hear regarding the safety of the city.
The safety of the city. Well, lucky for you, miss. He's cleared as day to hear petitioners. Though I'm sure, and looks to Kura, he won't enjoy hearing the same thing twice. So I hope you brought something fresh and new for him.
I'm sure we'll have a fine conversation.
There is a bit of a line. You know, the common folk concerned about their crops and their sheep.
Of course.
It may take your wagon going on that side. You have to make your way on the foot for the rest of the way. Up the stairs, up there, all the way to the castle. By all means.
Thank you. And she'll look to Kura and nod and retreat back into the wagon. And she'll do this and look to Visha, Nyoka, and say, what did you all say the first time?
Well, we fucking tried telling him that there was a dragon afoot. And it may have been a bit more aggressive on my part. And so I imagine he didn't like my fucking attitude.
There's no imagining. He didn't. He made that pretty clear.
It's just... nobles, you know, they've got a way about them. It's aggravating.
Did they know that you were mage and witchers?
Well, these lot don't hide their pendants, so they were able to figure that much out. I was not quick to share that I was a mage.
We may be here longer than we anticipated. And she speaks up so Kura can hear. In the event that services need to be offered, would the Witchers be willing to fulfill contracts that the Duke may have?
Yes. As long as it's helping the people and not just hunting some random person.
Fair. Nyoka?
I'll leave that to Kura to decide. I'm going to stay with the cart, the wagon, if that's okay with you all.
That's fine by me, just covering our bases before we get there. But by the sound of it, we'll have plenty of time to strategize.
Indeed. You all make your way. You park your wagon. You make your way up the stairs, these stone steps, to a decently sized castle. It's not anything grand or huge or overly pompous, though it is still a castle. And you make your way to the line of petitioners who would speak with the Duke. It moves slowly. You are here, luckily, relatively early in the morning. So it's not terrible, this line. As it begins to move slower. One by one, petitioners are either turned away or awarded what decree they had hoped for. Eventually, you're within the castle walls. The full chamber, hearing them plead their case. You see the Duke sitting on a simple wooden chair. There is no finery that adorns the chair or his court. But you can see other lesser nobles gather around on the sides, hearing, clapping at his decrees, smiling, nodding. Duke Waldrick waves away people in front of you. And your group, minus Nilka, from what I understand, steps forward to plead your case, to petition to Duke Waldrick of Gamera. And that is where we'll close today's session. We'll see you all next time to see what exactly is said to the Duke and how we are going, if we might be successful in this petition. See you all next time. Same time, same place, same petitioners. We'll see you then.